People often ask me how I survived over 3 years in solitary confinement. And, well, let me get into it. To put it simple, I served over 3 years in solitary confinement in multiple spaces. The longest period of time that I served straight in solitary confinement was 14 months when I was transferred from Haynesville Correctional Center back to Sussex 2 State Prison, which was a level 4 for the second time while I was completing 16 years, 11 months in prison. When I was doing solitary confinement, the only things that you were allowed to have were envelopes, writing paper, pens, stamps, your hygiene, and one religious book of your choosing. And that was it. No electronics, no form of entertainment other than maybe making songs, hitting the door, etc. I would often write poetry, and when I could, I would smuggle or get smuggled newspapers and books from COs that were cool or other prisoners that had, over time accumulated books, newspapers, etc. And the way we would get those were by utilizing a mouse or a kite. It depends on what state you're in, but it's a device where we basically fish it underneath the door. It has a battery or a piece of paper, something that, could have some weight on it, a piece of contraband or not. And it's a string that's attached to the end of that, and you shoot it up underneath your door to another cell. They're able to tie something to it, and you can retrieve it back to your cell as long as the COs don't, see your kite or your mouse coming across the floor, because they're definitely going to run down and snatch it up. Other ways that I kept going while I was in solitary confinement was I would play chess often when I was fortunate enough to have somebody in the next cell or the cells across that knew how to play chess, which wasn't an uncommon thing. And the way we would play chess in solitary confinement would be by basically creating a board and pieces of both your own and your opponent's, and whoever you're playing in the cell across the way would do the same thing. And you would mark your board off 1 through 8 and A through H, and you would call the moves out loud, just like you would basically play Battleship. This is how we played chess, and I can tell you, we would play chess for hours just to keep our minds going. And not for nothing, it's kind of messed up, but as far as doing time, those were some of the most peaceful moments because I didn't have to look over my shoulder. I didn't have to worry about what was going on in the dorm or the pod, etc. And at the end of the day, I could rest without interruption. They would have count time and trays that came to the door, but ultimately, I was locked in. Nobody could get to me. And for a lot of people, solitary confinement becomes a break in there from the chaos, unfortunately. Other than that, it was burpees, 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 a lot of exercise, prayer, and just making sure I kept going no matter what, even if I was isolated in that space. Going to the showers when they were offered, wrecking the dog cages. But all in all, man, please, y'all, stay free.